All right, so all 10 of my jars fully colonized. I might try and throw a picture of that into this video if I remember. It was time to move on, so I had those PF cakes. I did not want to grow mushrooms from those cakes. I wanted to move it to do in bulk because that was going to be a really small yield. So I modified this 56 quart plastic tub into what's called a monotub. So on the bottom, you can see where there's black spray paint. That's on the very bottom that you can't see, and along the sides, about 4 inches up from the bottom. That is not to help with growth, that is actually to stop growth. What they will do is pin, where, you know, when you think of a mushroom, you think of the mushroom caps, the heads. They'll pin on the sides. They pin towards where light is coming from. Wherever light's hitting it, it's going to grow towards. So if it pins outwards on the sides or on the bottoms, obviously it's just going to run into the wall. It's not going to grow that much, but it's going to eat up nutrients. So I won't really get anything from it, but it will waste time, effort, and resources by doing so. So that's actually the black perimeters to stop growth in those directions and force the growth to go upwards, which of course gives it more space to grow, meaning it's going to get bigger. It's going to actually be more fruitful, which is the whole point here. Also, those are 6 holes in total, 2 on either of the sides you're looking at, 1 on the others. Same type of filtration tape we used on the jars that worked out great, so did it here as well. The moisture and whatnot inside. With the jars, I try to keep at 75 degrees. This is being kept at 70, 72. And as you can see from the moisture buildup on the walls, that's working fine. That is not even remotely too cold for it. So yeah, we'll probably check back in 2 weeks. I'm expecting 2 to 4 weeks. The jars came out great, but they took an extra week and a half than I expected. And I ended up going with a 3-to-1 bulk substrate when I broke up the contents of those jars when they were fully colonized. So I broke them up. I made the bulk substrate out of vermiculite and coconut coir, no gypsum, and I went with a 3-to-1 substrate to the colonized seed. Mostly just because I wound up with more substrate than I had anticipated making, and I decided to risk it for the biscuit. So, of course, the higher that ratio, the higher the potential yield, or so the story goes. However, it also takes more time, and that leaves a lot of time for pollutants or contaminants rather, and a lot of fuckery. It allows time for things to go wrong. So for first run, maybe not the smartest idea, but you know, it's gone well so far. So maybe I'll just wind up with a really large yield, whatnot. So yeah, this is how it's going, and I'll try to make another video when we have something to show for it. Later.